Hi folks, I'm Dr. Palmer and I'll be with you this summer for Lifespan Developmental Psychology online on Canvas exclusively through PSU. And I wanted to just say a quick hello, give you a quick recap of the course so that you have this video to go back to if you want at any point. So as you saw, I hope, on Canvas, I have the weeks broken out in different modules, and we're going to go from genetics and impact of DNA on who we are as human beings and the creation of a fetus into a human being, all the way through death, dying, and bereavement or grief. So we'll go through this very, very quickly during these next 9 weeks now. And we will also have tons of different resources that I post up for you. Over this coming weekend, I am going to post the PowerPoints for the first maybe 4 or 5 weeks. They are very short PowerPoints, approximately 20 different slides for them. I don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of extra lifespan development aspects. My goal with these PowerPoints is really to highlight the key and core components that impact each different stage of human development. I will also narrate those for you. I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to do a video in the corner or you'll just hear my voice like you did in the introduction that I posted. So stay tuned for that. That'll be a surprise for all of us. I also wanted to keep the assignments very small and limited, but also very meaningful. So you'll see each week there is a resource response that's due, and those are worth 5 points each. While I would love for you to really get in the weeds and dig into one of the resources that I posted and tell me what you learned about it, tell me what spoke to you or what didn't speak to you about that. I also know that it's summertime and we have the sun shining, we have other work and family responsibilities. So I don't want you to get wrapped up in what should this look like. For the response reports or assignments, 3 to 5 sentences is fine. Tell me which resource you picked, why you selected it, and what you got from it. What did you learn? Or what stood out to you from that? Also, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, you could post another resource. So I'll give you 4 to 6 each week, but if there's a resource that you particularly like, share that in your resource response to me. Let me know why you like that resource, why you think it's an interesting or informative resource to share with me, but then also for the class, because it's very likely that if you share something with me, I'll post it for everybody else too. So have some fun with those. Be flexible, enjoy them, learn from them. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by the number of resources that I'm including. So pick and choose what works best for your learning style. Are you a YouTube video person? Do you want to sit and read a research paper to be able to understand this particular resource or lifespan developmental stage in a way that works for you? I'd also suggest maybe consider downloading these resources and save them on your file on your computer for future use. This is pretty much me doing some reference work for you. So use that. Okay. So if you have questions about that, let me know. If you have questions about anything course related, let me know. So that's going to be about half the points for your grade. 50 points, 5 points a week. Did you submit it? Yes or no? Okay. Then I have an interview project for you to work on. In my mind, this sounds like a lot of fun, and I would like to make it a lot of fun for you as well. I broke it down into 3 different sections. The first is, who are you going to interview? That's one assignment, worth 5 points. Tell me who you are going to interview, why you're selecting them, a little bit about them, their relationship to you, how old are they? Very baseline, who are you selecting? What are their demographics, and why are you selecting them? Simple. Again, yes or no, submitted, 5 points, bada bing, bada boom, done. For the interview transcript, this is where you're going to come up with the questions that you want to ask this person. Ask that person the questions and supply me with your responses. And this can be typed out, it can be your handwritten notes, it can be JPEG, it can be a Word document, it can be a PowerPoint presentation. I want to see the questions that you asked and the responses that your interviewee gave you. Next week, I'll start to bring in some questions that I think might be interesting, but I also want you to ask this person the questions that you really want to know. One question that I think of a lot is, I was born in just outside of Dallas, Texas. My parents were both from the Northeast. They moved to Dallas, Texas, 2 years before I was born, and lived there and had a job. My dad had a job down there, and that's why they moved. So I'm curious if they have any regrets about moving down there or moving back to the Northeast. We moved back Northeast when I was 3. Still a Texan at heart, though. So I would want to ask my mother or father, why did you move? And can you tell me what kind of experiences you had in making that decision? One is a closed question. Why did you move? We moved for your dad's job. Great. Well, tell me more about those decisions that impacted this choice. And that's going to be a conversation. So try to add some questions that are open-ended. Gives an opportunity for your interviewee to share more things with you. We'll go through this a little bit more in a separate video that I'll create exclusively for that component of the assignment for this class. But just to give you a little flavor. So that's going to be worth 15 points, and that's due on July 26th. So towards the end of the semester, you can submit it at any point. If you have it done, don't worry about that. But I just want people to be able to have time to go through the different developmental stages and ages of people to be able to inform your questioning. Okay. For the interview presentation, that's going to be due on Sunday, August 2nd, and that's due the beginning of the last week of our semester together so that other people in the class can take a look at that as well. And that's worth 30 points. And I will have a more formalized guide for that coming up this weekend or next weekend so that you have a good sense of what that's going to look like. But again, a lot of flexibility with creating these assignment submissions in a way that talks to you and has your voice extremely highlighted in this. Whether it's a video or PowerPoint, I want you to do what's you and figure out how that became you, of course. So a lot of reflection, a lot of interpretation of these assignments. Again, like I said, I think they should be fun. Who would you really want to sit down and talk with? And what questions do you really want to know about their life and how those life choices made them who they are and where they are? Okay. So a brief video intro. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you next week. And again, as always, please do not hesitate to reach out with any questions, whether it's through our Canvas mail, whether it's email. I am up in Thornton, New Hampshire, and I'm ready to be here to work for you for the summer. So if you need something, let me know. Have a great rest of your week. I think it's going to be in the 80s up here. Enjoy that. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.